Alright, final review time, boys. So, this one's always scattershot. I just walk around the airship and grab whatever character I feel like rating at the time. Still on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely useless, 10 being totally essential to our team. And, yeah, dude. So, let's just start with Marnie. As we know, she is totally off the chain busted because of Engulf. We know that she is, you know, an unassuming, pretty young girl, pretty sweet girl too, but she's also part Zone Eater, and she has accepted that half of herself and learned to control it a little bit. For now, she hasn't been eating human anymore, like she did at the beginning of the game. Only monsters, and she's using it for good. Still satiating her primal need to ingest living flesh, but not doing it to humans anymore, so good for her. Needless to say, she's an 11, the only 11 that I've ever had in a Beyond Chaos, because Engulf works on everything. We have eaten so many bosses. The only thing that it didn't work on, which we did find one, was the girl half of the painting, the Chatternook painting. So we ate her, but she reappeared. You have to do it to Chatternook, which we did like almost immediately after that, and it felt really good. But yeah, if you try to eat the girl half of the painting, it doesn't work. Which is, I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I was very surprised that it didn't just, because every other thing that I'd eaten before that, it just ends the fight. So, but yeah, Marnie is definitely an 11 based on her skills. We used Ice Beam a couple of times, but there's no reason ever. There's no reason to do anything with Marnie but Engulf. All she should ever do is devour things. So, she is definitely an 11, and on the very tippy top end of every character I've ever gotten in all 13 Beyond Chaos Seeds, she is at the top for most busted. So, good job, Marnie. You were a fun main character to run around with, I'm telling you what. Alright, so Yuna keeps walking up to us. Let's check her out. So, bang. So Yuna, number one, I liked Yuna, like, this is probably obvious, but I liked Yuna a hell of a lot more in X2 than I did in 10. I liked her design better. I liked how she had guns and shit. And to be honest, dude, the dress sphere system, as weird as it was and as like hokey as it was actually really fun, because it was like Final Fantasy V job, you know, system. So yeah, this Yuna I don't mind. She's very vanilla though. She's basically Terra, so there was really no reason to even use her. She can use Ifrit to get speed. She has flare from equipping the Paladin shield. Yeah, she's just Yuna, man. Like, this is the problem with this seed. Because Marnie is so good, the other characters didn't have a whole lot of a chance to, like, shine, because we just engulfed everything. But, Yuna, yeah, on the low end, I'd say she's a 1. Actually, she's probably a 2, because I'm pretty sure I know who a 1 is in here. But, yeah, so, Yuna. Sorry. Like, just the power level isn't there. Alright, Rydia, jump in here. As I've said 100,000 times, we've gotten Rydia in Beyond Chaos more than any other character, so welcome back, Rydia. Jump, Magic, R-Pearl, and Fight, she was kind of useless for most of the game, sadly enough. She accidentally broke Good Terra's Ogre Nyx. Well, I accidentally broke it. So she didn't even get to, like, use Good Terra's strategy of jumping with the Ogre Nyx. And she wouldn't anyway, because we can just Mirror Ward and have Illuminous, because this seed is busted. But, yeah, as far as Espers, what kind of stat up she's getting? MP, Magic Power, and Strength. So, you know, she's in her magic list is going to have Flare. Everybody's going to have Flare, because Paladin shields have been equipping all game, and it teaches Flare. Never got us anything teaching Ultima, but she's got some Cure Magic, which is nice, but we have Elixirs to heal with, and Mega Elixirs, and everything else, so that's not really that good. I'd put her at a 3. I still think she's better than Yuna, just because of having, you know, Jump. I mean, that's the only real difference between them. Jump is better than Morph, so yeah. Sorry, Rydia. Better luck next time. One of your weaker iterations, actually. You've been pretty good in past seeds, like when you were a Berserker and your Blizzard Orb had Flare on it. Okay, Garnet. We've gotten her a lot of times, too, in every form she's in. You have a White Mage Hooded Garnet, you have Dagger Garnet, you have Princess Garnet. I've gotten all three. And this iteration of her, pretty cool, man. I do like the reference, like, to Yogg-Sothoth with the dread and the eyeballs and everything, the Great Watcher and all that, just a big massive eyeballs. And she has lore, which is actually really good because she has Big Guard in it, since we did our Bless with one of our other characters until we got it. No Quasar, no Grand Train. Might run into that in Kefka's Tower, we'll have to see. But yeah, for now she's just here for Big Guard, and Dread works on some enemies, and it has been working a lot more than I thought it would, because a lot of things resist Petrify. But yeah, she's cool. I really like those skills together, and if this was in any other seed, I'd probably be using her all the time, because it's just a cool set of skills. But yeah, her power level, not as good as some of the higher level power levels, obviously, because this seed, again, is pushed over the brink, but I would still give her, like, a 7, because she has Big Guard, and Dread hits sometimes. So, good job, Garnet. You did pretty good this time. Okay, Len. Len is our shadow character, also our Berserker. Probably one of the weaker Berserkers that we've ever had. She just has Fight. You guys know what I say about only rolling Fight for the Berserker. It's kind of boring. Her Blizzard Orb had Osmos, which sucks. And Rage Ring, and she's just chucking people. So she is a vanilla-ass Berserker this time around. So just the fact that it's a Berserker, I'd probably give it a 7, just for the damage output. But it would be higher if her Blizzard Orb did something better than Osmos. But yeah, and I don't actually know if this is, it's definitely not Len from Melty Blood, but her profile picture just made me think of Len, you know, little girl, white hair. She's got blue eyes instead of red eyes, but you know, whatever. Yeah, that was just the first character I thought of, so that's what I named her. So yeah, Len, I'm keeping you at like a 7. All right. Tata returns for the second seed in a row. She's good. I mean, having Mimic is just good. And yeah, she's got Flare and all that stuff. She was the reason that well, no, she wasn't the reason we beat Rexall, actually, because Rexall dodged X-Zone, so we had to eat him instead, like you do. As far as Espers and stuff, just Unicorn. She has nothing else, so she's only getting Strength. But, you know, and yeah, she's, again, kind of vanilla. This is what you end up with these characters every time when you do replace everything. Someone always gets Mimic, someone always gets Morph, someone always gets Jump, and someone always gets X-Magic. You know, those are ones that cannot be replaced. They are always going to be in the character pool somewhere until the developers of Beyond Chaos find a way to remove them entirely. No matter what, they're always going to be there in every playthrough you do. So you can always bank on lore and Mimic and stuff like that. And her having Mimic makes her pretty dang good. But, I mean, it is still a mime. There's nothing more to her. I'd probably put her at a 5 because she's right in the middle of the road. Her stats aren't incredible. She's just there to mimic stuff. So, good for her. Good job, Tata. Welcome back. But you're not as good as you were last time. Alright. So, let's just stay up here, shall we? Rachel. Rachel. Number 1, her profile picture is still ass, and I wish they would fix this. This literally looks like Terra with a wig on, and it's awful. But anyway, she has Condemn, which is pretty much useless, just a blue magic spell that you find everywhere, and Question Mark Charm. Now, Question Mark Charm could be helpful, because if it hits, it will make enemies fight each other, but not worth using when we have so much better options, and she has no magic command. So even if she could learn spells from Tirado, which are a lot of pretty good spells, and spells from Karen like Flare, and spells from Crusader like Drain and Quake, she can't use them anyway. So yeah. Rachel, you are on the lower end with your skills. They're not that good. I'm going to go ahead and say you're a 1 as well. Well, not as well, I haven't gotten the other one, but you are definitely a 1. At least you don't W explode this time, like the First Lady's Night Out seed. But, yeah, you're not the best. Sorry, Rachel. Good to see you, though. I always like your sprite. Katerin. Katerin is also a returning veteran from previous seeds. She's been in a few of them. I like her palette. I like the green hair Katerin palette. Usually we get her with purple hair and stuff, so this is a nice change. So she is our mime. As you know, the mime stats aren't usually that good, but she can do Bum Rush and Engulf if she wants. But I've made it a rule that I'm taking Engulf off of anybody but Marnie, because these other characters aren't Zone Eaters. They shouldn't be able to engulf people, and we shouldn't be able to mimic it either. So probably what she's going to end up having is lore or magic. You know, we'll find out. But yeah, she's okay this time. Being able to use stuff like Bum Rush, which is another character's move, is sick. And that move is very, very good. So Katerin probably hovering somewhere around an 8 or a 9 just because of the ability to put those skills on and not have to wait to mimic them. And yeah, she might end up being pretty good in the last dungeon. I'm sure she's coming with us. So Katerin, welcome back. I always like your Final Fantasy Tactics Oracle sprite or profile picture too. Really cool. But okay. Let's see here. We gotta go downstairs. Alright. Magisha. Cool sprite. Cool enemy from Final Fantasy V. Her husband's missing. But she's awful. She's a 1. We only ever got use out of her in the sealed cave when we couldn't find Phoenix Downs anywhere, and we needed someone to bring our characters back with question mark life. And even then, you bring back once and it keeps casting life, and it's annoying to sit through. Tech Laser is a very low power skill, and she doesn't have a magic command. So again, Carbuncle giving these spells, Bismarck giving all these spells, no point. So, yeah, she's probably not coming with us to Kefka's Tower. She is one that is going to be left behind. Magisha is a 1. Big time. Sorry, babe. I hope when you come back next time, you are way better, because I actually do really like your sprite. Alright, Maria. Maria is a returning character, and is actually the first favorite character I ever got in Beyond Chaos, because she, in the Ladies' Night Out, she was really, really good with Atomic Ray, Absolute Zero, combined into one skill, and she used the Illumina towards the end of the game, and she had Mimic. She was just good all around. And she was still good in this seed. Not the best character we got, of course, but having RGO is really, really neat, doing all the random dance attacks, and it could really help, like pulling Rage or El Nino or stuff like that was really, really good. Diffuser, again, like I said in the Tomasa review, we didn't really use that much. But it's still a decent AoE spell. If she hadn't had RGO, that's what we would have been doing. And yeah, she's just cool. And I like that she's like frozen solid, so she can't sing anymore, but she can dance to keep her, you know, her body temperature up, and that's how we get RGomancy from her. But yeah, Maria, I'd say this time you're probably, I mean, RGO is still random, so that kind of sucks. So I'd probably put you about a 6. I wouldn't give you anything higher than a 6, but welcome back, Maria. It was fun to use you again. Okay, Freya. Freya is a returning character too. She was our Mime 1 seed. I like her a lot from FF9. She was always on my team, as I've said. But she got Bum Rush, and Bum Rush has been wrecking everything. When we weren't engulfing, we were Bum Rushing. So Freya is definitely a 10. Just because of Bum Rush, it does really good damage, and then Tata can mimic it and do really good damage, and Katerin can just put it on her list and do really good damage. It's non-elemental and always hits, and just does great freaking overall damage, and it's useful all the time. Question mark clear is annoying. I don't know what the hell clear is. I've never seen that attack in Final Fantasy VI, ever. But it causes a bunch of different status effects, and Freya does it a random amount of times, but the targeting is rouletted, so it's pointless. And it usually always lands on one of us, which sucks. But anyway, Bum Rush is Bum Rush, and Freya is a 10. So there you have it on Freya. Okay, that is everybody up here. Excuse me, Yuna. Jesus. Okay, then we have Rhona. Rhona was part of the Desperation Trinity Seed, where she had Riot Blade. This time she got Star Prism, which was sort of helpful in the beginning, but it always tends to drop off because it's an instant kill move, and a lot of stuff resists instant kills towards the end of the game. Bomblet is useless. That's the Flame Eater's attack, which summons a bunch of balloons to protect him, and we can't summon a bunch of balloons, although it would be freaking cool to do that. So that's totally a useless skill. It's just a blank spot on her list. You never use it. She does, however, have a magic command, which means she has access to Flare, and Bahamut teaching Ice 2, Ice 3, Slow Dispel. She has the HP plus 100% level up bonus, so that'll be really nice for her to get a bunch of HP. There's always a chance that we can give her the Atmo weapon to do more non-elemental damage than the Illumina at some point, and she'll have a butt ton of HP by the time we level her, so that could be helpful. So that being said, and that being a thing, I would probably rate Rhona about a 6 too. She's here and there, sometimes useful, sometimes not, and now she has potential to be used in sort of a fun way, so we will see if that is the case by the time we're done grinding. But okay, let's get Lulu up here. Lulu, she had a lot of potential, and if she was, again, in any other seed but this one, she would have been amazing. 3 times Bolt Beam, okay, 3 times pretty powerful lightning attack, but only 1 element, so it gets absorbed by a lot of stuff. That's its downfall. Our white, awful skill, random white magic spell. You never want to depend on it for anything. So she has a fake mustache she can put on that changes our white into Magitech, which is what you should pretty much always be doing. If you have a command changer that can change our white, almost anything is better than our white. And then she has natural X magic, which is cool because, again, like everyone else, she has access to Flare because of the Paladin shields. She's learning all of this other good stuff from Torado and Seraphim, Zone Seek, Madwin. She can get speed, or strength on her level ups. She's not too bad. If she was in any other seed, we would probably have used her a lot more. But, excuse me. As it is, I would say that Lulu is probably a 7, just because X Magic is there, and the utility of Magitech sometimes, but she also has to use a relic slot for that. Yeah, I'd say she's still a 7, though, and she's not the most awful character from FF10. I kind of like Lulu, so rock and roll. You're alright, Lulu. So, that is all of the characters. We gotta talk about the seed and the flags we used one more time. So here's the thing about Mad World. I was expecting a difficulty spike all game that never happened. There has not been a difficulty spike yet. Everything has been pretty freaking easy. We can engulf absolutely everything. I mean, this seed might not have been as easy if we didn't have engulf. Well, that's not even a might. It definitely wouldn't have been as easy if we didn't have engulf. But yeah, like, we still would have had Bum Rush. That would have been our best thing, and we probably just would have been spamming Bum Rush against everything all game without engulf. But the fact that we got that skill has made this seed very, very easy. And now, like I said before, I want to reiterate, when you've been through as many seeds as I have, and you've gotten so many characters with so much useless shit on them, and you have had to struggle bus through so many dungeons, and so many Final Kefkas, and so many Fanatics Towers, it's really, really nice, and it feels amazing to just go into a boss fight and eat them. Eating Chatternook was the best feeling. I didn't have to sit there and wait for him to change back, and hit him, and wait for him to change back, and that double switching shit I didn't have to deal with. I mean, dude, there were so many moments where I would engulf something, and it would just be like, yes, this is so fulfilling. It feels like I deserve this, you know? It may have been a little boring to watch. That's the only thing that I can say. is, you know, for everyone watching this seed, it might have been a little boring to watch me just like run around with Marnie and consume. That's basically all we've done. But the storyline is so much fun. Like, I was so hoping that eventually I'd get another one where I could do like a horror themed story, and this one worked out perfectly. The last horror story that I kind of got to do was Little Billy and the Corrupt Ring, and that one was, you know, so-so. This one has been hilarious, fun, disturbing, just getting to like develop backstory for Marnie and stuff, and where she came from, what she's like, the whole freaking thing about her having to accept her Zone Eater side, you know, because she is as normal as she tries to be, she will always be part Zone Eater. So yeah, which is cool. And it's very reminiscent of H.P. Lovecraft this whole time. It's just kind of felt like that. But and the early storyline of the world becoming really cold, that kind of you know, dropped off a little bit. Of course, it became a subplot instead of the main plot. Rydia having warmth in her, same thing. But I kind of embraced the Marnie is a Zone Eater and has to eat everything and is a threat to the world storyline, and I don't regret it at all. So yeah, this has been a fun seed, story-wise. It's been a fun seed, just destroying every single boss. Again, I hope you've had fun watching it. Even though we're basically doing the same thing over and over. Like I said, if we're not engulfing, we're bum rushing with Freya, and then we're mimicking bum rush with Tata, and that's pretty much it. And anything else we would be doing is like swinging with Illuminas. You know, there's not been any real struggle, and I think that's Mad World for you. I think if I would have done Dark World with Mad World, it would have been a little harder, which we can do in the future at some point maybe. So yeah, we didn't wipe that many times, and when we did, it was, you know, pretty easy to go back and do something. Like, as long as Marnie got a turn, we got through everything. But yeah, either way, thanks you guys for watching. This is the end of the final review. After this, we are heading into Kefka's randomized tower again. We'll see what secret item we've got this time, and we're gonna eat at least one statue, maybe a guardian, maybe Atma weapon. we already ate one, so who knows. But we gotta go in there and we gotta take down Evil Tina and avenge Good Terra. So I will see you guys for that when I return. Peace.